Hello everyone, my name is Talented Isreal. I'm an artist, a pencil artist precisely. I deal with drawing of pencil portraits and also making artworks of animals, of humans, things around, either in landscape form or in portrait sizes. Yeah, I'm a student of the Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, Ogun State, and the course I'm into, my course of study in the school is Water Resources Management and Agrometeorology. I initially applied for this course, Mechatronics Engineering, because of my love for robotics and others. Artificial intelligence. So I applied for the mechatronics engineering course, but I was unable to meet the post-UTME cutoff, so I was given the Water Resources Management and Agrometeorology, because this particular course, Water Resources Management and Agrometeorology, is also an engineering related course. So I accepted the admission offer to studying the course. I chose pencil arts because looking at the pencil, it's timeless, in the sense that when we look at the olden days, this pencil art is like a representation of an object or an image in black and white form. And going back to times, going down memory lanes, we see that in the past they make use of black and white stuffs to make their pictures. So up to today, the representation is still there. So the timelessness in the use of pencil art and representation of these images, of these imaginations, our expressions, makes me choose pencil art. And looking at this pencil art, we see that comparing it to other forms of art, pencil art stands out because its own the equipment and the materials needed mostly are often at most times at our reach, because when looking for other materials, we just need the pencil and the eraser, among others, to make our pencil artworks. But when diversifying into artworks, like let's say we are making sculpture which deals with like graven images, woodworks, we see that most of their implements, they have high cost, because when you look at these aspects of art, I mean the sculpture, the metal works and the rest, you see that to get their materials, you need a whole lot of money to sell them up. But looking at these pencils, we see them around us, we make do of them every day. So I tend to use this pencil art because number one, it's timeless, and number two, it's easy to get, it's easy to acquire. Although I started these pencil works since I was young, even if you get to my room now, you see some drawings of pencils on the walls of my room. Since I was young, I've started drawing. I started when I was quite young, but later I let go of it for a little while because I went to the training school for other purposes, abandoning this talent of mine. But I see myself, when I was in the bag making industry, most of the times when I'm asked to cut the leather, I'm often most times I draw on even on the leather I am to use to make the bags. So my boss advised me that why can't I follow my talent? Why am I abandoning this creativity in me? why didn't I explore this? So last year I went back to my pencils and started this stuff. So officially I can say I start this pencil work, these artworks last year. Yeah, using pencils, most especially when you're making hyperrealistic artworks, you tend to use at least you use 150 hours on in making an hyperrealistic artwork, and at most you are expected to use nothing less than 500 hours in making an artwork. So making hyperrealistic artworks, you tend to use between 150 hours to 500 hours. Yes, I see myself doing this because looking at the situation of things, looking at how I started, 15 years from now or 20 years from now, let's say, is something I know that I will still be in this field, because my days of learning are far from over. And looking at the situation of things on ground now, I am not thinking of stepping down in this field in the next 15-20 years. At Isreal, that's the name of our brand. We tend to tell you the value of what you're paying for. You need to get the quality of the things you are paying for, you are giving out your money for. For instance, now, if you want to make a portrait, a small size portrait, let's say for instance a 12 by 16 inches portrait at our art studio, you get that size for 10k, for 10,000 naira. So as an artist, I'm looking forward to using my art to inspiring young upcoming artists. When we look at our environment, we see that artists now in this Nigeria, they are fast growing. So this increase in population of artists might let some young upcoming artists feel dejected that can't make it with this population of artists, with the rising population of artists in Nigeria, through this skill. But I'm here to tell them that they can, if they put in their best. Because looking at this art field, I so believe that not all the things we want in art is there. So when these young upcoming artists, when they explore their talents, when they explore this inner stuff in them, they will be able to bring out the best, and this might lead to the evolution of another type of art which we have not experienced before. So my advice to those young upcoming artists is that they should keep their gaze up, they should keep their heads up, they should keep the ball rolling, because the sky is just the starting point. To me, presently, and that's what I think a lot of people should do. You should work to learn, not work for money, because in the process of learning, you learn to earn. Looking at where I'm coming from now, I'm working to learn. Though we do some artworks, we get paid, but we should work to learn. We should not just work for the money, because when we work for the money, most of the time we tend to work for the wrong reasons. We tend to work for money, and we might not get the joy, the happiness we need. So now I value the happiness I get when I hold my pencils, even more than the money I'm being paid. We artists are not being paid for the time we spend on the artwork, because this time has a greater value than the money we are being paid for. So to me, the happiness I get when I hold my pencils and make some shadings, some sketches on paper is of high value to me than the money. But we thank God that this artwork has been paying to some extent. Having this talent is not the problem, but not exploring them is a very dangerous situation. Just like I said earlier on, me not exploring this talent of mine on time makes my conscience disturb me, in the sense that when I hold the pencils back then, I draw on leather, draw on the walls, I feel, Israel, you are not doing the right thing. Looking at this, for example, is the 12-16 size, this 12 by 16 inches size, and it took me I used 5 hours each day for a week on this particular piece. So adding up the hours, used approximately, let's say, 40 hours on this, because it's a quick sketch, it's a quick work. So this can one do, and this size is the 12-16, just like this size too is 12-16, but this took me like a maximum of 2 weeks to completing this, because when you look closer into this drawing, you see some features, some detailings. So hyperrealism is not just a small work, is a form of art that has to do with patience and perseverance. For you to make hyperrealistic artwork, the patience and perseverance must not be lacking, because you need to spend more time with your pencil and paper, bringing out the details, just like the pores, the hairs in the mustache and the rest. So hyperrealism is not just a small work to say, but you can do it. It's attainable. An example of hyperrealistic artwork is something like this. You see in the picture, you see the oil pouring from the face downwards. So making artworks of water, wrinkles on the faces of old men and women, those are examples of hyperrealistic artwork. And this size is the 16 by 20 inches size. This also took me 2 weeks for 10 hours daily. You look closely, you see the pores underneath the lips and the skin texture. You see some irregularities on the faces. So bringing out these qualities is what we refer to as hyperrealism. This size is 20 by 24 inches. This size is 20 by 24 inches. This is Oye Mike, an Instagram influencer, you know him. So this 20 by 24 inches, and you can call us on 09028491736, 09028491736 for inquiries on our artifacts, or through our social handles at Zrelo's Hands on Instagram and on Twitter. Zrelo's Hands, Zrelo's ZRELOZ_HANDZ, Zrelo's Hands. Thank you for patronizing us.